The story behind murder and mayhem. That's the subject of a News Press Now special report on the circumstances behind crime. Is it possible to predict what violence will happen next? This map shows the 179 non-fatal shootings that occurred between 2017 and 2021. Now let's add in the murders. There were 27 in the same time period. Of course, every dot is a tragedy. Take, for instance, in the heart of the cluster here, also in the heart of the city, where outside the Frog Hop, 2-year-old Raylan Craig was killed in a drive-by shooting.
There are some things in life you're not supposed to see, and a deceased 2-year-old involved in violent crime is one of those things.
And if we negate the impact that we can make, the trends will continue to rise, and I'm sure those dots will move to other areas.
3 men in their early 20s were charged and prosecuted. Now, each murder investigation can take around 500 hours.
Wherever you go, wherever you may be, you're going to leave something of yourself and you're going to take something with you. And that's the basis of crime scene investigation.
The average amount of non-fatal shootings in recent years here in Buchanan County is 28. Jackson County, it's nearly 500.
I'll unveil it for you. Drug trafficking, gun trafficking, prostitution, things along those lines.
So it's either domestic violence or the drug world takes up a large percentage of the violent crime in Buchanan County.
Outgoing prosecuting attorney Ron Holliday begins every criminal case the same way. He prepares like he's going to trial. Of course, most cases actually involve some sort of plea bargaining. One of Holliday's high-profile cases happened in this neighborhood back in 2016. A dispute involving a Puerto Rican gang led to hundreds of bullets flying at multiple scenes. The terror actually ended with a double murder taking place here on Safari Drive.
There were 5 different sentences in those cases. There were 2 main shooters in the case. There was a cooperating witness in the case. They gave a full statement, agreed to testify on behalf of the state, which was essential.
Between 2017 and 2020, Buchanan County gave out an average sentence of 20 years. The witness in the Safari Drive murders received 3 years probation, and the other 4 charged received a total of 71 years in prison. All but one of the recent murder convictions involved handguns.
You got to avoid the road to despotism.
Aaron Coy owns a few guns and is a staunch libertarian. Many estimates place the amount of guns inside the United States at more than 390 million, which is larger than the current U.S. population. Coy learned the do's and don'ts of how to operate a gun at an early age. To him, education is key, and so is target practice.
Even when it's unloaded, we always treat like a gun like it's loaded. And also know to always point the gun at the ground and never at anybody.
If you are shot in the chest in Buchanan County, you could meet Dr. Jeremy Hunter.
I would say about 60 seconds we're in the chest, can see the heart, correcting what we can. If they're pulseless, we'll do what's called internal cardiac massage. You do manual compression and cardiac massage of the heart to try and sustain life.
He said knowing the caliber of the bullet before the patient arrives is helpful, but the speed it is traveling is also important.
The velocity of the bullet matters because that changes into energy to where this little bitty structure, the bullet itself, can cause a lot of damage internally just from the rapid expansion and then vacuum of that bullet traveling so fast.
What is the road to improvement? There doesn't seem to be a consensus answer to gun violence.
You can be poor, you can be around crime, but the crime doesn't have to be in you. I actually think some of those kids are more resilient than the other ones that had a very easy life because they had to fight uphill. They had to walk through bullets flying around them.
Perhaps the most chilling statistic determined in this report was the surprise trend between firearm homicides and suicides in Missouri. Of course, every statistical number or dot on the map has its own unique story, and we only have ourselves to blame if we cannot learn from our mistakes. Reporting for News Press Now, I'm Ryan Hennessy.